should we be expecting with Spinks out and Rops in the fray?
Yeah, Spinks was kind of like their star player, and, he'd play on the upper area with Flamesy a lot, but Mezzy was their ramp player, and the way that Rops comes into the team, he kind of shifts people around a little bit on certain maps, like Anubis, for example. So kind of moving around and making space means that they just switch positions. But I think when we look at this map and how it's going to play out, we look at the formula that we looked at before Mirage, and it's going to be the same thing. Vitality is probably going to have the upper hand. It's going to come down to if the game's like going in their favor, is the Apex having a good game, everything's going to go and fall into place for them. And it's if they get off to a bad start and then a couple bad calls and Apex gets frustrated and is like, oh, just upper rush, or oh, just rush outside to lower, and then Mongols picks up a couple of rounds, that's when we're going to start seeing something sloppy and maybe it goes the distance.
We'll see. Apex as the art player obviously has a lot of responsibility on this map. Rops is more fluid. He's the ramp player, but half of the rounds he's somewhere else. So it's going to be up to the Mongols to figure that out, figure out the setup. But Vitality having to start on the T side, I want to see how much space is there for Rops to go for this place. How many rounds are already in place for him? Everyone knows the Rops player, nukes, flash through the door, smoke, right, do an upper pop. So what is the balance right now for this team? Is it still just more of the old Vitality to make sure everyone's on the same page, or are we already shifting to this new Rops Vitality?
How do you reckon Mongols have those hot starts then? On that CT side, obviously, you said both halves on this map of Mirage, they were off to a slow one. What's going to be key for them?
Just in pistol rounds, right? Like winning a pistol or being able to win a force, right? Some of those rounds, but it's going to be difficult. Vitality has some of the best pistol players in the world.
Yeah, you look at the Vitality starting on T side factor of it, and we can talk about Rops taking his timings outdoor or out ramp, but it's all about that first initial yard duel that happens. And if we're seeing Apex out there, if we're seeing them get ahead of themselves, if we're seeing them get taken